Y2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. In this game, we'll see Baltimore against
the friendship torch in the foreground and the Tower of the Americas behind it. Now it's ended.
Well, guys, Kristaps
and Porzingis, DA, a good 3 inches taller than Dirk. He's a very unique talent for sure. You know, right around, Chris, this time of year, often top contenders begin to separate themselves from the rest of the teams.
Yeah, now is when guys start feeling comfortable. They're getting into their groove, Kevin. This is when they're getting their mojo back, and they're in their roles, and they got their timing. And now you just have to let the ability show through. And how do you do that? By realizing that your muscle memory, realizing that you practice, realizing that you put in the hours, trusting that, and now going out and just being yourself and embracing the moment.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Baltimore, they've got J.J. Barea. Mason is out there with Ulis. Then it's Thomas, and it's Van Vliet in at the 4. T kicks to Iguodala. Embiid trying to break loose. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Oh, how about the length of Embiid? I mean, it's tough to deal with. Outstanding, using it to gobble up offensive rebound.
Now the pass to Barea. And here is Thomas. And Baltimore hits again from deep.
And, guys, this is what you like to see early on, gaining a little confidence from range.
Well, I wouldn't say that's his shot, but it's a shot he can make. And that really opens things up for the offense.
Here's Embiid. That shot, no good. And Baltimore going the other way now. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
And if there's one aspect of the game that really stood out for me, it was the rebounding. Basketball is about possessions, and you saw a noticeable difference in terms of the effort both teams were putting forth.
Well, the rebounding numbers weren't even close. I mean, if that was a boxing match on the glass, they would have stopped that fight a long time ago.
Right side, Williams. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
What a play there, the hoop plus the harm.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Ulis with it. He's against Williams. Ulis can't get it to go.
Oh, just incredible, that spin. Shook him loose from the defender, but he just couldn't gather his balance there to follow through with the shot. And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
There's a minute 34 left to play here in the first. And here is Barea outside. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going that way.
There's Williams with the 3. Baltimore with the rebound. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
And both of these sides were fighting tooth and nail for a playoff spot and split their season series at 1 apiece.
Here's Mason. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Oh, the officials are all over that.
Baltimore shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
And so it's Iguodala. He'll bring it up for San Antonio. Trailing by 2. Kicks to T. Outside Williams. Porzingis trying to get free. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Teague against Mason. Six to shoot. Baltimore needs to get off a shot here. From deep. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got 5 rebounds tonight. Left side, Williams. Mason against T. Passes it to Porzingis. No good from 11 feet. Tie game in San Antonio. We've got Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Hustling on that offensive glass. That's led to a number of second chance points.
Well, obviously, that was the game plan coming in. Be physical right off the rip.
Embiid is out there with Porzingis. And there's Iguodala. Then there's Teague. And it's Williams at the 2. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Pass to Van Vliet. He kicks to Ulis. Baltimore moving that ball around. Thomas, no good.
He had 2 3-pointers in the opening quarter, and hasn't been able to connect yet here in the second.
Outside Williams. To the inside. And Iguodala with the basket, the assist by Williams. Iguodala's got his second basket of the game.
Oh, man, the long arms of Iguodala, such an asset, converting around the painted area.
Mason the pass to Thomas. Here's Van Vliet, guarded by Embiid. Mason kicks to Thomas. Unloads. And that one hits back iron.
He'll be beating himself up if they can't come back because he is not carrying his weight at the offensive end.
Williams. And finished off by Williams.
Oh, and with the fast eyes, Iguodala finding the open man.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Ulis kicks to Barea. Jeff Teague with the rebound.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
NBA offenses have always been complex, and they always are evolving. But C-Web, the movement and precision now seems to be at another level. Would you agree?
You know what, Kev, I disagree a little bit with that. You know, having played in different teams with some complex offenses, it's still all the basics. You still have the old flex offense, and that's nothing but what Utah, Karl Malone and John Stockton used some 20 years ago. You still have triangle principles, which is what Jordan and Pippen used some 20, 25 years ago. And if you really want to go back to the Bob Cousy days when he played with Bill Russell, you still have a lot of throwing it into the post and cutting off of it. I think the players have evolved and the players' skill sets are better, but as far as offensive sets, I don't see that much has changed, except how do you execute them, and can you execute them with having the right position players with the correct skill set on the floor at the time that you call them to play.
I love your honest appraisal. Baltimore trails by 8. Out to the wing. Here's Thomas, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Pound for pound, the best in the league in drawing fouls. Isaiah lives at the line.
For Baltimore, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And 1:01 left in the first half. Teague finds Embiid. Porzingis feeling it out a bit. Williams passes to Porzingis. No good from 11 feet. Baltimore has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Thomas against Iguodala. 30 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Iguodala against Thomas. Over Iguodala. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Now here's Teague. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Outside, Porzingis. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
I don't think we'll ever see another 7'3" player who can drain the three like Porzingis. He takes the idea of that inside-outside.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, Hoop. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. They played well at both ends of the court, and suddenly they're sitting on a... And that'll do.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Nice game. Great performance by Isaiah Thomas.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, right. I mean, the defense hasn't had an answer for this guy yet. Just too skilled, too driven thus far.
On the floor for Baltimore, they've got Ulis. He's out there with Mason. J.J. Barea is out there with Isaiah Thomas. And it's Van Vliet in at the 4.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you spend all that time in the locker room trying to get mentally prepared. Then you come out and give up that?
Porzingis can't hit. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for Baltimore. 7-point differential. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. There's Thomas with the 3. It's rebounded by Lou Williams. The Spurs shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Lets it go from deep. Baltimore with the rebound.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses.
Inside. Iguodala with the steal. And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. That one fall coming off Iguodala's feet. And that's now 9 points for Lou Williams. Baltimore trails by 9. 90 seconds now into the second half. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
Look, he had all the time in the world to get the jumper off. Maybe it was too much time.
Iguodala kicks to T. Now here's Embiid. He's tightly guarded. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. And it's an 11-point Spurs lead.
Making outstanding use of the mid-range area. The big man, Embiid, he enjoys mixing this shot up in from time to time.
Timeout is called. First of the game for Baltimore. Big-time scoring is always a premium, Chris, when you're evaluating players on the offensive side. What do you hope to find as you kind of break down their game?
I hope to find that you can dribble, shoot, and pass. Because if you can do those things and you're a great scorer, then I know that if you get double teamed, you can find an open man. That if you have the heart of an unselfish player, that you're willing to think 2-3 plays ahead of how to set someone else up that's struggling. Because a great player can always get their own. And also on the offensive side of the ball, are you careless? Or do you value possessions? Do you make easy turnovers? And if you do make a turnover in the offensive end, what is your temperature like defensively? Will you run back and get back and try to get a stop? What type of player are you overall? Great offensive players are result-oriented, not necessarily seeking individual numbers or acclaim, and that's a big part of my evaluation.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Mason kicks to Thomas. 1:12 left to play in the third. Barea dishes to Thomas. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Big things come in small packages, Kevin. I mean, Thomas just contorting to finish through the foul.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. 1:03 left to play here in the third. T kicks to Iguodala. Pass to Embiid. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Williams can't hit.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Van Vliet passes to Thomas. Good on the three-point shot. And now it's only a 5-point Spurs lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And there's the pass to Iguodala. He dishes it to Embiid, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call. Baltimore, the foul. The Spurs have gone 0 for 3 in the game at the line, missing all previous chances.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line. Boy, he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
Thomas against Iguodala. And here is Thomas. From past the arc. No good there. And so it's San Antonio, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we'll be back with you shortly. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Yeah, no need for hero ball there. I mean, you just need to make the right basketball play. Outstanding dish that time.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. Iguodala out there with Porzingis. Then there's Teague. Then there's Embiid. And it's Williams at the 2 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. Here's Van Vliet, headed by Porzingis. Thomas gets a wide open look, and that's a foul called on J.J. Barea. That is his first foul of the game. Spurs leading by 9. To the paint, here's Iguodala. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one. And so Thomas will bring it up for Baltimore. And Ulis has it in the corner. Back to Thomas. Fires the 3. San Antonio with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Shots good by Iguodala.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And Baltimore calls time here.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Scott Brooks' huddle. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this 4th quarter. Teague against Barea. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Embiid, no good. Baltimore trails by 13. Here's Van Vliet. Again, the miss by Baltimore. Williams looking around. Passes it to Embiid. The Spurs getting another chance here. Shots good by Iguodala.
Oh, that's called getting the most of every opportunity. Iguodala scoring off the screen.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Outside Williams. Here's the floater. Count that one. And the Spurs lead by 17.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Spurs.
the biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10. And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Joel Embiid.
Well, the best work he did came on the boards. Nobody could match his intensity. His rebounding played a big role in this win.
Porzingis can't hit. Baltimore on offense. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by San Antonio.
No question who's been in control of this game.
Boy, they have really taken charge here.
Now here's Williams. D right on him. Embiid against Barea. And it's Porzingis that time on the assist by Embiid.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Yeah, with a double-digit lead at this point, they can pretty much mark this one up in the win column.
Barea kicks to Mason. Here's Van Vliet near the three-point line. It's Thomas. No good.
And Iguodala's ability to match up at a number of positions.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us.
Pull up at the show, I put my go-to face on. Feds on my case, but I got my go-to.